Where is Dream after all? I have another lock coming in. Yeah, every time I put a lock, I should put a point as well. It's really hard to break through. But everyone should fight for it. Maybe even I should fight a little bit harder. But I'm just one dude, so I'm not socially anxious or anything. So that the factor that I don't have those resources to stay awake and grind with someone, it just means that I'm not supposed to do it. I'm supposed to take care of what I currently have, and what I currently have is the needs to make these videos. That's a pretty fucking big deal that I have. Let's go full on mode. To not sleep over. Because that's what you do with anxiety. You keep at it until it's finished. Because usually it's something that's very, very close. That could happen at any moment. That's what you would be anxious about. And when you get the chance to sleep, you black out. You just jump into bed. Super happy. Or not. But you're out of energy anyways. For me, I'm a little madman. Okay, it's a little bit different. So I consume insights, and I have to ensure they are purified and thought over and shared, and I'm being honest with myself. All that insurance is pretty simple resource that I'm grinding for. The only question is, like, how does my behavior make me mad? But I'm not anxious to do anything, right? So we have to check the opposite side. If I'm not, even with my game engine, it's not like it's super close to be finished, but it's super close to be functional, which is not nearly as exciting as finishing something. It is kind of interesting as well. I still don't know what my relationship with the Hytale is gonna be, but I'm not a small person in that regard. I'm just not. The reason why I asked the first question is there's a lot of influence on the top. Alright, maybe we should talk about the influencer stage. And now I'll make sure that you can see the entire fucking sheet. This is the corner. If you can see the corner, then it's all good. Almost. This is all I have right now, all the space I can give. You can pretty much see the corner. I'll try not to go below this line. Okay, maybe I can just stretch the paper. Simple. How simple is that? Stretch it out like this. Here we go. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I think I can get used to that. Maybe push it like this. Yeah, okay. So we need to answer this question. We need to answer this tier list again. The influencer tier list. That might just be the most scary one because it's the most relevant one. The way you spend your money, go fuck yourself, basically. Yeah, it's just a way to figure out how evil you are. Kind of pretty boring, but very important to do it first. Just to check if I'm not in the wrong place. You know, it's all relative too. If I'm doing terrible in life and I got nothing, this is really, really destructive force. Especially if I spend money unwisely and I have pushed myself even deeper, where I'm working a lot and I'm spending a lot. I'm in a pool of shit right now if that happens. But I don't earn a lot and I don't spend a lot and I spend a lot of time. And time is the influence currency. So, welcome to the influencer tier list. Huh. How cool is that gonna be? Now we can kind of list things linearly, because I stretched out the canvas. That should be cool. And I do feel a little anxious, as I should as well, but it's hard to actually tell what the hell I'm gonna be doing here. Welcome to influencer tier list. But we'll see what it's actually about, right? Relationships and money is something we covered already. It's its own package, basically. You know it is. You know, it's kind of actually even bigger. Talk about influencer and influence and time you spend, and the way you do things. And if you don't figure this out, by the time I figure it out, effort, E, okay? It doesn't matter if you get a low grade or a high grade, okay? None of that shit matters. Because that's negative. That is positive. Effort. You have to care about effort and experience. Okay? The fact that you're getting some kind of experience is great. And if you can maximize that, then you learn something special. The max experience. Or we can just call it max P. It's a completely different concept, by the way, than just gaining experience and understanding that as, because you figure out how to maximize it, and I still haven't done it. I'm just here, just barely made it, okay? I'm barely standing and observing everything now. So I made my first breakthrough, and I intend to do another one, and another one after that. So I have a pretty good visual on the entire field of influence in general. And obviously, experience is a good place to start when it comes to sharing that experience. And what is it that people do then? Just make videos? Just fake it? I don't know. Instead, maybe we should take a step back and answer, how do we spend time? That's what I try to do. I just say effort matters. Is that it? This is the end of my story now? That's cool. Okay, so the reason why I care about this, There's a bunch of losers who claim power. They claim the fucking power. They have to be dethroned completely. Because they don't have no power. In my life, I'm like realizing, oh, nothing good happens out of life ever. Nothing. Okay, so whenever something good happens, well, nothing happens. You cannot just be a YouTuber. Being a YouTuber is actually trash. It's so cool, but it's like so not cool anymore. So I immediately, I'm YouTube CEO and not like, oh, I'm just a casual YouTuber. I don't want to fucking be a casual YouTuber. I don't want to be under control by someone else. I'm gonna dethrone the shit out of people. If they think they can control something. If they think they're doing a good job. Because that's where people, you know, they're drowning in this thing. Oh, what a good job I'm doing. Well, keep doing your job then. If it's your job, and not your part of life, nobody cares. If it's just your job, and do a good job. Make sure that you get that fucking thumbs up, or you're gonna get fired immediately. Once people figure out how to dethrone people, you know, if we don't like someone, we throw them out immediately. People should have the power to do this shit. But here you go. This ability to be a bigger person. Tier 2. And to understand, like, well, you're still united with all the folk. And as I've said in a previous video, all I'm trying to do is to ground you down. To make sure that you have the correct power that you're supposed to have. Feel right about yourself. And that's going to empower you to the maximum because your self-esteem doesn't go up and down anymore. Okay? See, that shit is also esteem too. And it's not supposed to go up and down, it's supposed to be there. When the way that you need it to be. And accumulate. But that's not going up or down. From your perspective, nothing really changes. You have full control over yourself and nothing really changes. So you cannot claim that self-esteem is like, oh, your ability to do something, or your ability to have certain talents. Again, people spend a lot of resources and they get stuck in tier 1 because of overspending. They kind of have to do it. You kind of have to go all in sometimes. All in to get that bag, I guess. Or to get whatever you want. Okay, it's your choice. But I think this is where the package kind of shows up. You jump in all in and get max amount of resources. I probably was terrible at this thing. Okay. So the only thing I got out is hatred. And being poor. Oh wait, I just remain just like my parents did. Well, hello. Not even that. I'm kind of turned into a ghost. Maybe I just killed myself by trying to cross this area. Maybe it's that fucking difficult. Who knows? I haven't been tested yet, so as long as I'm alive, I did went all in, and it was something, you know, that I did. You cannot just call it success or not success, based on how much I have in the end. But maybe there is another thing. The juice, the brain juice. Okay. Just as big, or maybe even more important than that. Going all in on the brain juice, because this next tier. You'll need it. You'll need to understand it to some degree, and remember it, or at least be able to recreate it somehow. Whenever you need it. You have time. But you're gonna realize again, wow, time is all about grabbing certain aspects of your life for preparation of the next experience, you know, to get that max speed. So yeah, you spend that special time to generate max experience. Wow. Yeah, dethroning people. When a wrong person hops in here, around here, you can immediately identify it if you tier 2 as well. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? We're all putting pressure on each other, and it's still possible to go back to tier 1, maybe even replacing one person with the other. Or when you come in here, at least you're cutting monopolies in half, right? Where people thought they had a monopoly, so mono goes to mini. Oh no. Just cut it up. Cut up the monopoly. That's pretty useful. You would want that all the time, but people don't recognize that while they're here. You know, it's a little bit fucking weird. So, you have to root for the right things if you want to recognize anything in life. Just stick around in the right places and root for the right things. And with the right reasons. Is that all we have? We set up tier 1. Experience and esteem matters. Once you figure that out, that's your key basically. But before you figure this out, or while you're figuring this out, you have stuff to do. Okay? Definitely. You have to check on your parents too. Where are you gonna root first? Obviously, in your environment. How are you gonna go all in? First have to know who you are and what you want, what you can handle in the future. Searching for a job is a job, but not only you should grab whatever job you can get, because that's what all in means. Take whatever you can get, but you also do a good job. This will allow you to recognize who's supposed to be dethroned and who's supposed to be a little bit higher. We can't just settle down to pretend that, oh, YouTube is already established. Well, the final establishment on YouTube will happen at the final phase. Okay? And the final phase potentially will no longer deal with just YouTubers, will also deal with the hierarchy of YouTube as well. And the true competition that YouTube is supposed to be. You know, the craziest thing about technology that I figured out, and it's somewhere up here, you know, tech, the understanding of what technology is, or at least being creative. Creative tech. If you understand this, one way or the other, somehow you break through that understanding. That you can in fact defeat big things. And maybe things that you never thought you wanted to defeat, you can defeat. So, video streaming software, is it really that difficult? What if, you know, decentralized system would be in place? You have a video on your system. You just set up your own server, or people just set up servers. It's a decentralized system again. And here you go. You already have a YouTube channel and we can't take it down, actually. Why should we care what you post? And we give the power to the people to restrict it for themselves. What do you want to see? You know, baby things? Teenage things? Vlogs? Or some adult stuff? Or some fucking old stuff? Old school? You figure it out for yourself. YouTube is doing such a fucking amazing job trying to figure out for you what you actually need. No, they're just terrible at technology now. They're terrible. They don't understand fucking anything. You don't do things for the people. You let people figure it out for themselves by making minor decisions. It's still possible, right? You can just download app for kids. Well, maybe some people will still not care about that at all. Maybe people just don't care at all in the first place. And you need to know, you need to again be that bigger person to fucking figure out what the actual throne is out there and how it has to be managed. But with everything comes much greater transcendence of information. So there's a tier 3. Maximizing yourself might not be important anymore. Understanding technology might not be important anymore. I don't want to emphasize these tiers because I don't understand them. But we can speculate what happens next. Potentially what I see is like a tight group of people that has its own laws and everything, basically. It's a community now. And whoever tries to infiltrate a community will bounce. Okay, it's like a never-ending party that needs tons of bouncers. Everyone works as a bouncer, not just one person. Okay, this is why it's not a party. It's not for casual people. Okay? So when there's this cooking oven making you feel special, then it becomes its own reality, its own fucking ship on sale. Literally its own thing. Separate from everything else. It could be a fucking ship. You could be living on a ship for years. Why not? What are you gonna miss out on if you live on a ship? Well, it's a little bit of security, for sure. Potentially ability to move and have decent amount of land, but your ship moves. And it can put you in the right place. But let's not speculate about a ship. The ship is more of a symbol to relationships. The true relationships. The most true there is. The respect ship. Yeah. Maybe one is enough. Almost looks like this. I don't know. So the question is like, is there anything to dethrone anymore? Because now you're doing your own thing. You have transcended into complete independence, I would say. Independence from stupid people. Beautiful. So it's a very good deal. You do lose something in that sense. But, I talked about it financially, right? You create your group of friends where you're financially responsible. You respect each other. And you share advice for once. It makes fucking sense for once. I feel useless for once. You know, my ability to understand technology, you have to be very, very talented, I would say. This is where talent matters differently, though, because it becomes real. Your talent is a need to be able to do something, and your talent is very relative too. Okay, just like your parents supposed to be talented in growing you, and if they're not talented in growing you, well, tough luck. You have to become talented to grow yourself, and you're probably gonna do that a lot faster every day you fucking survive. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like people need to be motivated in these times to think differently, to think a little bit better, and figure out what action they should take next after like bumping into me and be like, oh, I think he's smart. Oh yeah, that's not what I want. Just like there are beautiful girls, you can immediately identify that. And also smart guys, you can immediately identify that. But there's a contrast. There are beautiful girls that are obscure, and there are smart guys that are obscure. There's a contrast. You have to take way more action if you find something obscure that is good. Way more action. There's obviously gonna be a lot of fighting potential, but I do feel like killing drama is a good move. To some degree, right? You kill the ending of drama, and that's it. And you try and also kill the beginning of drama too. Now, why is that? You don't want people to care about you too much, and you don't want things to end up badly. That's it. You want a good start and a good finish. You have to be prepared and be ready to bail and snap your fingers. Everyone forgets about this thing. You have to be able to get that middle spot that actually matters, that actually gets the conversation going a little bit faster. Because there's nothing useless that's uncommon, you know? I mean, common, actually. Common. It's very common to jump into drama and want it for some reason. But you need to know why and how to do it. And all the way to this level, I haven't introduced drama yet. Why not? Dethroning people is not drama? Actually, that's interesting, right? No, they will dethrone themselves over time. The reason drama doesn't happen is you still have more time. You still have it. And you put drama on yourself. If you have too much time to spend, you maximize your own potential. So drama does not show up until you have the right environment, the right people around you. Everything is set up. That's a lot of effort to put into just have this. Okay? Just to have that. The worst thing of all is not only this tier list is complicated, but every tier is also split into tier list, and even you can jump into Onision channel, and it's also split into tier lists, or into tiers, okay? And lists, actually, every single tier you have to understand. So an Onision channel, Discord channel, might be actually low tier 2, and even that low tier 2 is split into fucking tiers. of how much you can stretch yourself and what kind of things you can care about. But it's still a scoop, right? You figure out, okay, which one do we care about here? What matters here? And so you have to get a few scoops, not just one, to be able to improve yourself. I'm kind of stuck right now, improving myself creatively. I don't even know, man. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna sit here in tier 2 either. It feels like, fuck it, okay? I'm gonna see a lot of people dethrone themselves. That's what you actually want to do, is just see that. Dethrone themselves onto you. Because despite someone holding power, they might not hold the influence against you. You might just leave. And it's, again, very relatively important, because the moment you start making relationships, you will actually teach what kind of influences don't affect you. That's the important part. So you don't actually involve yourself in drama. You involve yourself in potentially reading drama, I guess. You know, like reading it. Reading the news. Keeping up with things. Being around. And caring. Care is surely something that has to be on the list. You know, you care about the people. And you care about the big boys. Because you're one of those yourself. I don't think I will need it to add anything else here. So with that, what else is super high on the list? What's that thing? If we have a ship, maybe we have a treasure chest. No, I wouldn't like that, actually. Another reason why I pulled this up is because, again, you watching people get dethroned, but you're watching also another thing happen, which is purification process. You know, the people who are really actually powerful, they clean themselves up and release the losers to be completely destroyed by the smart people, by the actual people. And if they survive, they might get a fucking bite at tier 2 anyways. Who cares? They're not coming back in. It's just like, whenever someone gets promoted, there's a lot of trash that, you know, gets stuck on that person. And the reality is, that person has to verify that trash over and over again to create a tight community. He doesn't know what he put in here. So again, whenever there's people in power, there's always people in power to just hold a position in power, to be knocked out of the game entirely when it's necessary to do so. So the world keeps on changing, and again, it's you that matters. You have to establish your perspective in life. It's a really tough position, but hey, it's not negative though. No matter what happens in life, there's always an exit from bad things and entry to the good things. And life isn't really quite defined, but whenever it starts defining itself, whenever you go through a lot of suffering, there's also a bliss that you can achieve one way or the other, man. I think what I'm gonna do with this is I'm cooking more YouTubers or whatever. Some of them can't hit like 33, so probably gonna reset, but leave the 33 and up and keep just raising the stakes. Maybe some people gonna fall down, as I've said. Actually, TikTok is just too hard to actually check on my PC, which is where the action happens. Yeah, but that's about it. That's just one group that fell down. It's pretty easy at the moment, but we'll see. I'll skip the insights for the first round, but I will collect them. Potentially, they will give me a better insight of what this thing is in general, right? I should fill it up with something actually meaningful. and then fill up the points, because I kind of stopped immediately. And maybe we just reset and try to like cross over the values from my attempt, my casual attempt and not so casual pointer list of things that I find. Because there's always something fascinating. I'm just a little bit stressed and distracted, but I'm doing the best as I can to find something regardless. Because there's always something to find. Uh, and the best way to remove distractions is just to become timeless. Maybe even appreciate this more. Maybe it's not even a big deal. We'll see. It's so frustrating though. Yeah, it's gonna accelerate into something, I'm sure. I probably will try maybe and improve every single time, but it doesn't make sense. These guys are locked in quite deep now. Yeah, it's all just blocking in your score properly. I still have 5 teams, I believe, left. I don't touch the other emoji teams, basically. They're different. I thought this was a meme. Got the Justin Bieber effect again. Poppy's back. She popped out of this team and I replaced her with something that also I can only do on my tablet, so cool. And she destroyed the shit out of me. I still haven't checked Lily Pons properly, so I'll just let that happen too. Let that sink in. Oh man, one thing I can't skip over is the anti-COVID reference, honestly. Because it just brings me back of like, oh shit. There's one more thing I didn't actually talk about. Or I did, and not good enough. And, the only virus that spreads super fast is ideas and ways of thinking. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is another way to look at COVID, actually. Because as I've looked at the symptoms, again, I only found 3 personalities, not 4. 3 of them overreacting. As if my personality is supposed to die, basically. Oh wow. Such a fucking alien force invading the world. My way of thinking. That's how it feels. I'll quickly bring it back. By the time I bring this up plenty times over, potentially Google already thinks I have it, because I'm looking it up so many times. I want to know, why is there's no data? You're serious right now? What the why is this glitched? Someone else has coronavirus right now. Cases. Yeah, only now we're like, oh, okay, we're gonna do it now. That's what's going on. Or really, tests concluded. We probably never took it seriously anyways. And why is it fucking spiky like this? Well, it's probably just weeks. No one wants to do it in the fucking weekend. I don't know. Now killing 450 people, not so easy. But these are probably old people. In a year. Death kills more people than... Why are we not freaking out about death itself? Like, what the fuck? About life and death. About, like, things that we can actually freak out about. We can actually psychologically, ideologically freak out about. And actually change our lives for the better. Instead, we freak out about something that makes our lives miserable and way worse. And the government is like, interesting. They want to make life worse. That's exactly where the government grows, doesn't it? Potentially, government has been waiting forever, basically, to find its ways of growth, basically. But it's never gonna find anything anymore. There's none of that left. Okay, you took over all the land, you took over all the fucking... the heads. You became the head of everything. You want all kinds of changes, but you don't know what exactly those changes are, so you're just intimidating people. And here we are again, spreading bad ideologies faster than the fucking disease is spreading. There's 3 sets of what's going on here. And I just removed conjunctivities because what the fuck does that mean? Pink eye? If you cannot make an explanation of what's going on, then I don't care. But there's sets of 3 all over. The ones that I can in fact read immediately and not research at all. And why is not set of 4? You would think this is very what is it? Offensive, at least. Why is it sets of 3? Why choose 3, though? So, from the top of my head, I should be able to reorganize them, just like I did previously. Just to recap. Fever is fire, definitely. Dry cough is water. Tiredness is wind. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Let's go to much more complicated ones. Diarrhea. Sore throat. Aches and pains. This is a little bit mixed, actually. This is fucking weird now. Headache locks. Again, I immediately put this into water. Because that's what matters. Being uncomfortable or tired. That's wind. And headache is definitely fire. This is not so easy here. But everything kind of followed the same pattern. Fire, water, wind. Does it follow here too? Being in constant discomfort is diarrhea, absolutely. Sore throat because of dry cough and loss of just basically mouth problems. Mouth. It makes sense too. Aches and pains. You have headache. And you have a fever in general, so aches and pains are just gonna fucking distribute over your body. So it makes sense that not only the pattern is there, it repeats. And it scares me because like there's one more thing that I don't understand. It's probably bloodshot eyes or what's going on. Pink eye. It's just probably a form of inflammatory. It's just another fever. thing. It's probably actually comes as a package with a headache, I would say. Or just comes as a package with pain itself. It's just a very, very basic definition of pain. But it's so fucking impossible to understand if I don't understand this word. It's not being used properly. And now this is serious symptoms. Oh, when stress levels are super high up. But where did they come from? Symptoms don't talk about nothing. The only thing that they reveal is like, well, your body's in a stress. How did that fucking work? How did that fucking happen? It doesn't say anything else to me. It doesn't say what... it doesn't have like a... Like you can just say anything creates these symptoms. Literally anything. Your dog creates these symptoms. You're stressed out about your dog. And you have a headache. It's fucking awesome, dude. Anyways. So, this would be the same pattern applied. But I don't think it works this time. Again, I really just know loss of speech or movement is like you're paralyzed, but because your mind is overworking. But you have nothing to hold on to or nothing to do, or nothing to say and nobody to trust. And because your trust levels are so low, this is definitely wind. I would actually say that the pattern actually works. Even though there's a lot of pain, chest area, or pressure. Can we figure this out? Can we untangle this? Shortness of breath is just such a common thing here. It's the first symptom that's, being suggested. They have never really changed anything, by the way. We can look at prevention and treatments, too. We can dive deeper now. But I see the tabs. Yeah, I think it's the same. I think narcissists don't actually have a chest to begin with. It's the fucking people who feel things, who want to vibe all the time. They feel pain. But it's actually ridiculously normal. Even the most serious symptoms are ridiculously normal everyday life things that you might not have encountered because you're a fucking loser. Because we're not aware of those things for some reason. They happen in small intervals, and yes, they can clog themselves up in a large interval, and not because of a virus, it's because you're fucking stupid. You did something wrong. And right now, there's a chance to do something wrong more than ever before. We're all trending together, basically, okay? Around something. Some kind of fad. Wear a mask, save lives, and kill yourself. Killing yourself also saves lives. I hope. I really hope. I really hope that fucking makes sense to people. Just kill yourself. Suppress yourself. Suppress your actions. You have been killing lives this whole time, so you have to suppress yourself. You must understand that, right? Everything that you've been doing has been killing lives. So, of course, it's actually correct message to most of the people. Most of the people are careless and clueless. So yes, it stops people from spreading their own stupid agendas against the world just because they have money, I'm not saying coronavirus is not stopping fools right now. But I am pretty, content to lead my people where they have to go. Tier 2, guys. We're gonna make it. I want to see someone else make it. on this fucking stage where I sit, and I understand things. And I know it's a long fucking ride, but I'll strap in and fucking go. Let's go. 3 hours every time. None of these things matter. None of these things save lives. Okay? So that's prevention. Bullshit. Self-care. Oh man, is this gonna flip me over? If you feel sick, you should get... Oh my god, I thought it was a test. Drink plenty of... Well, it's... Well, stay normal, basically. If you feel sick, stay normal and out of trouble. Very simple, right? Love food and water, okay? Fall in love with those things. Yet again, in case your body forgot that it has to do these things. It has even more basic things than whatever you prioritize in your life. Stay in separate room from your family members. I don't care. I don't care. Only if you in big disagreement with them. Or you fear them somehow. Yeah, you should stay away. It's actually a real thing. And I felt it, you know, the fear of everyone around you. It really hurts. Okay, the idea that they can actually attack at any moment, that they might feel free to do so for whatever reason, and that there's a switch into a demon, that's pretty scary. That's the only thing that can fucking hurt you in this case. Because people really don't fucking want to listen to your point of view. Sometimes. And if you actually bleed it out, over enough period of time, they're just gonna attack you. Once they see an opportunity. See your fear, basically. It's fucking ridiculous. But this is what I was waking up to. Like, it's almost like predicting that 2020 is this fucking bad before I even had a chance. You know, I'm living my fucking dream right now. Except I farted, and my dreams got infected. Yeah, whatever. The most frequently touched surface is your body, so if you just clean yourself, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Sure, yeah, like, you might want to clean unclean surfaces if they bother you. Good luck. I'm still not changing none of my fucking habits. Everyone should keep a healthy lifestyle at home. Yeah, they should. But you don't give a fuck. People who write these things, or they have medical positions, they actually feel good about themselves. It's like, well, I'm helping people. And this is exactly the type of virus that also has been spread. Oh, if I held a position for long enough, I help people. I'm automatically decent. Actually, job market is over here in tier 1. Every time you're just doing your job, you're doing almost nothing. Almost nothing. Because your jobs get infected by the follow authority behavior. Just follow the authority. At first you ask questions and you learn and you see if you can insert your passions and intentions. But after you start doing your job and just earning money and earning power, well, you become a living nightmare for people to deal with. If you just make a single mistake and stop doing your job, holy shit, and just stop being okay entirely. Stop just... You're bad, but like, okay. You're okay, but we know you're bad. If you stop doing that, and you crash land onto the rest of the people, holy shit, does that hurt. So just because people hold on to their jobs and it's like, wow, such a thumbs up behavior, no one thumbs up jobs anymore. No one fucking likes police, I don't think. And no one likes medics anymore. It's just a fad. It's just a fucking fad right now. If people were to vouch each other, I don't think these people would fucking survive. Whoever just do their jobs. But right now, it's still pretty intimidating, I'm sure. I'm sure they would survive now, but not after the earth is flat, basically. Goes through people's heads. But maybe the earth is flat. Maybe the people that are trying to help us have been violating the rules this entire time, and everyone in higher authority violating rules rips away rules from us. You know, because we hold them in high authority. If they break rules, we literally just don't have those rules anymore. Yeah, the rules in higher authority are very limited. If they break it, it's over. They have to rebuild it too. We have to re-elect officials that would rebuild those rules. So, because they're breaking our self-esteem if they're misusing it. Okay. Maintain a healthy diet, blah 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 blah. Please be active through the internet. Basically, please love the internet. Children need extra love and attention. Of course they need. But you know what we don't need right now? Children. I don't think you need children right now. Not right now. Yeah, take care of the children we have. Maybe. Maybe. This is a deep topic. It's like, well, if you mishandle a child, they're gonna go to suicide. I don't think that happens. You need just to give them just enough as a just be normal human being. Okay? I was living with normal human beings, but they're not good. They're just normal. They're bare. Okay? They're very bare parents. And it was good enough. So if you can be a bare parent and take care of yourself first, that would be nice. Because you might decide like, okay, I have this extra thing that I have to take care of. But maybe you would actually trade in your child for more freedom, and your child goes somewhere where he's actually being taken care of as well, and you come back and you check on your child anyways, because why not? That's pretty fun to do. Someone's still growing, someone's still giving you credit for everything. Just like greater strategies exist, I will never see those strategies from my point of view right now and the way the world works. But hey, or in silence when nobody cares about me. I will never see that, so I can spit whatever I want, but I'll try to be honest, just because. Just because it feels productive. The most productive thing that you can do is not do a job. Do whatever you fucking like. Because yeah, the first thing you're gonna figure out, like, oh, I do like being productive. I do like building myself up. Because then the things that are good in life, I deserve those things. It's just like, wow. And they will come to me whenever I will be able to communicate. And again, communication is like, wait, what? That's on top of the fucking, or in the bottom, like the boss fight, communication. Pretty much. I mean, some celebrity would call me and I'm like, oh, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know, man. I would just throw the phone and set it on fire. Please. It's too early right now. You have to catch yourself if you can actually handle all these things. And maybe those things are always happening. And through dreams, people kind of knock at your door every time and see if your next day is going to be a little bit special, you know? Keep to regular routines and schedules as much as possible. Please stay calm while we fucking weed ourselves. It is normal to be sad. No, it's not normal to be stressed. You just said it. You just created the most disgusting piece of garbage thing ever. And if it's normal to be stressed, all these symptoms are stress related. So it's normal? So there's no coronavirus. They literally figured out a way to contradict each other themselves. So yeah, now I'll just ask, like, is it normal to be stressed? But if I'm stressed, I'm a little bit sick. You know? I get a little bit sick very quickly. Because I'm trying to do something that doesn't work. That's what stress is. You know, it's better to relax than to be stressed. Obviously. Or feel bad emotions. Why should you? You should celebrate bad emotions because you have been able to manipulate them to be good again. You know, I ensure that my sadness and anger, super valuable emotions. When I laugh, I don't lose, okay? When I laugh, I win. Because it's so difficult to actually laugh genuinely. And, well, genuinely be surprised too, which is the fourth emotion. So, they're genuine emotions. They're very expensive. You don't use them when you're down. Why? Don't use those fucking emotions. Potentially even, like, when you're in captivity, you don't even show emotions anymore. It's like, whatever. Just say things. Just say, oh, you killed a human being. Thank you, guys. Oh, you never know when someone wants to put you in captivity and observe you and create you turn you into an influencer, basically. Oh, can't wait for that. I feel that's happening because of the stupid-ass court case. Oh, you have been in mental hospital. That means you have to go back. And then in the mental hospitals, like, well, they return over and over again. What a mystery. It's probably their cause, actually. Well, fuck you. No, you literally... You do something wrong, and if you have a history, your history continues. It's the most beautiful thing of all time. It's the loop-to-loop that I talked about. Or confused. Confused. It's not good to be confused. It's not normal. None of these things are fucking normal. That's the whole point. This is why coronavirus is a thing. But they negate themselves and they say it's fucking normal. It isn't normal. So what they actually want to do is to create a crisis, but you have to negate that crisis because it's normal, but you still have to be a little bit better than normal. You know, as always. Nothing really changed. We're just living a different trend, a different kind of war, a different kind of weather. Nothing changed, honestly. At least for me, I'm hoping nothing changed, because, like, shit, still have to go outside and wear a mask. That sucks. But they will not ever get one step closer and ask for anything else. If they ask for vaccines, well, it's... I'll probably fight back. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I have been in a mental hospital. People have been injecting me with drugs whenever they wanted to. So I never really had freedom. So, probably one injection I don't give a fuck about that. You know, you should be stronger than that. But the problem truly is, it's fucking weird. Now it's just weird, guys. Now I think they have crossed the line of where it's, like, super weird. Because I'm observing this as a stress virus. And they want to do something about it. And they feel like oh, now we have a right to spread our disease and spend money on this thing. It's just another money dumpster. Why are money dumpsters being created? Because people obsess over it so much. If I can create a money dumpster, maybe I can escape with a bag. No, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be sucked into a dark hole of deprived life. Okay? Cool. People will forget about it faster than they can fucking turn this shit into a vaccine. But they can't fucking stop themselves from doing it. You know? Or at least I'll forget about it. And they'll forget about me like they always do. And then if they don't want to forget about me, well, I'll become the king of resistance until I'm like, well, I'm tired. You can vax me. Fuck it. You know. You can kill me now. If I can't establish trust, I don't want to consume nothing. Okay? Literally not a thing I want to consume given from other people. If I can't establish trust. I have established trust with going to a shop and spending money. It costs me quite a bit. So it's still a big question, right? Will you spend this money? Will you being basically robbed in broad daylight? And you have to make that decision. What can you get away with? That's the question. There's no question about it that you're being robbed of your freedoms. It's just the question is for everyone. What can you get away with? Can you get away to be in the back of the line to ensure that no one's dying from the vaccine? All these things, right? You have to put yourself in minimum risk in order to be able to survive any of this thing. And also you have to minimize stress, bad emotions, confusion, all these things. You have to fucking prepare. It is tough. Talk to people you trust, such as friends and family. If you feel overwhelmed, talk to a health worker. Yeah, overwhelmed. It's true. It does make sense, whatever they said. All this makes sense, but there's that little fucking twisty twist, man. What is it? And how does it work? And why does it exclude 1/4 of the people? Literally. 1/4. You think you want to know what my symptoms would be under stress? Because that would be pretty interesting to know. Let's put a lock in there. What would be my symptoms in stress? Just stress. Normally I'm sucking in other people. I'm holding on to other people to try and pretend to be normal. But you know, this is kind of a form of depression, a form of helplessness that I can feel of like, I want to get away from this situation, but it's trying to gray in onto me. The thief wants something from me and I have to give them something, but I have to just satisfy them somehow. I have to satisfy the thief because they will back off from me. They don't look at me as a person that they want to rip apart most of the time. Because if they take too much, they get in trouble. So there's that interesting puzzle to solve of what do you do? Do you fight back? But it's so deep because there's so many interlocking pieces, and sometimes my stress symptom what happens? My brain overloads and kind of gives up to the worst solution of potentially not having a solution or pretending that I'm hopeless in a way. Because I'm young, I obviously would get into those situations. But even as I grow older, like, the situations get potentially more complicated based on how much power I have and how much other people want it. You know, like, that's a very, very complicated thing. Even right now, like, I'm overloaded. I'm like, what? This is not cool. There's nothing I can do. But potentially, we don't feel stress ever. There's nothing. The depression is not stress. We know. Thinkers know when to just relax and start thinking. So they cannot put themselves into a headache either. They're like, well, I don't know what to do, so they don't do nothing. Potentially, stress doesn't even exist in my fucking book. It's just a concept of wind. And wind does not exist as a dangerous thing, okay? It doesn't put me in danger. So let's think about it again. Stress. The more I think about stress, the less stress I can possibly have. The most stressful thing that can happen is you being bounced around into unknown locations. You don't know what to do. You might be missing something. You keep checking your pockets. That's stress. I've been in those positions as well, and it's really annoying. That is stress. But if I'm in a home space and I'm kind of sticking myself in here, I can't possibly be stressed as long as the bad things kind of go away. Right? The bad things give up on me, basically. So yeah, the more I think, the more I spend time with myself, the less stressful I'm gonna be, the more prepared I'm gonna be to face stuff, and that's it. Stress is not a thing that I understand at all. Because even though I have good hints of what it is, I've been in those situations. I was avoiding stress my whole life then. Also, I don't over care about other people, but I do care. Whenever I have an opportunity, I'll take it. And I don't see other people doing a better job anyways. So that's why I say it's exactly stress virus. There's nothing that touches me in any way whatsoever, but it touches everyone else. Everyone else who are not thinkers anymore. Who are doing something completely different in their lives. And, well, being crowned as an actually virtuous person who's immune to the disease. I need more credit. Or I'll keep farting. I'll be the spreader of coronavirus this whole time, and you can be as angry as you want at me. You know. Why do I feel like this? Why would I let people be annoyed with me? Because I can't stop what you want to do. But if you want to have low tier wish list, well, you're dead to me anyways. You know? Wow. The wish list must be very low tier if you want to hate me for some weird things. Especially if I'm always an underdog. If I always want to be in this position of where I only speak to a handful of people and everyone else is just an outsider. You want to go in? Do your fucking work. Invest into me. We'll see what we can do. But it's an insider thing, okay? This is how you remain underdog. Well, I don't want to become popular. And when I'm popping, I might fucking delete my video or something. Even though that doesn't quite help, doesn't it? I don't know what's possible in order to avoid being popular. But usually when you talk about conspiracy theories and you in a huge disagreement with the majority of people, your popularity can go down quite fast. But you have to do it correctly. You have to do it in a boring way. And that would work. Don't make an apology video. Don't make something that already other people make in order to step on a trap of society. Like, oh, that's what he's doing. If you basically, in other words, to negate popularity, keep doing what people can't understand. And then the insiders feel and become very valuable too. Mutually, okay? People who do understand, they feel valued, they feel heard, because there's a handful of them. It's a beautiful fucking filter too. I'm not sure when this will come into place and start working for me. I'm not making plenty of moves at all. I'm just thinking. That's all I'm doing. I'm kind of waiting on other people to, push me like a billiard ball. Yeah, or pool ball, rather. Who says billiard anyways? Jesus Christ. But who would say pool ball anyways? But I'm being pushed like a ball in the game where you push balls. And then I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. And I push back with the same force, trying to learn that thing. As if I'm still a child level, and I still deserve people's respect. That's why not supposed to grow up. You need respect, right? You have to remain childish and willing to learn, and with an open mind, and willing to play with people, and not just sit on a completely opposite side that they want to fight with, So that's another thing, if people can't find someone to fight with, you're not gonna be popular, you're not gonna be sucked into a drama pool. So, it's good. And in the end, I am the least stressed person. And you will not find my personality on YouTube or anywhere else stressing out about this at all. Or even dying. I don't think you can find death in general. It's not that easy anymore. With this stupid virus. If only this was easy. If only I fucking knew what's going on. But when it's stress virus, I don't even know. It's just the outside world making a bullshit out of themselves again. Because I don't understand them and they don't understand me. But that's the consequence, potentially. Well, I feel there's something's going on, but I don't understand what's going on. Maybe one day you'll find me. Maybe one day. A guy who's not stressing out. Has a completely different way of life. But we are pushed into a dark age. Thinkers are pushed into a dark age. You would think oh, YouTube is a perfect place to be a thinker or whatever. You couldn't be more wrong. Being a thinker is not an easy thing to achieve and go into. And most importantly, there's no ladder anymore. You used to be able to write a book, at least, and that's easy. That's a straightforward path. And it's that straightforward friends that you're going to be making. What do you do now? Make a game? What? No, that doesn't work. Someone's going to make it faster and better than you. You know? When you write a shitty book, you can still sell a shitty book. Because nobody cares. They might just buy it for the sake of buying random shitty books. And if you write a better book, well, you're going to get more notorious about it. And that's cool. You're establishing yourself in some way. But you might not still outshadow the shitty books either. But right now, the popular kids take everything. We only get the miserable people realizing that they're just sucking up to popular people all the time. I have it, I'm sitting on Onision Discord, I'm like, well, just people don't know what they want, don't know what they're doing there. Like always, like in Tinder, the same thing is going on. Everywhere is the same thing. And you can tell we need motivational speech. 3 hours long again. And this is what it has been leading up to. But this one is so much better. This is going to be so much better. Because you can feel like I'm improving every single point. I'm hammering down the points that I'm supposed to make all together. Just compile them all together. Hopefully it works out. It's so difficult. It's an entire years of work. But that's what makes me different, I have been working. Doesn't mean I wanted you to like it. But I want it to be heard. It's a completely different thing. Okay, I want to be hated. As long as that means I'm heard. Only authority figures get that. And that's a far stretch too. Like popular kids take everything. Even authority figures feel like they are misunderstood as well. And they're the ones who have power, who will stress. It's so easy for me to just give up. And not even feel stress about giving up. It's way too easy. People shouldn't, because that's the real fart that I'm releasing, okay? While you obsess over stupid things, I kill people with my low life. So yeah, I don't need a girlfriend. I don't need money. No, I don't need it. No, you keep it, dude. You have it. Don't worry about me, dude. That's how I kill people. I have such a low life that people would look into me. I can't live like this. They're gonna stress the shit out of themselves. They would die seeing how I live. Would die. They would, wow. And this guy's smart. What do I do? There's so many conflicts inside me. Just be nice? Oh, wait, you haven't learned that. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, my God. How did I learn that? And you didn't. It's so difficult, isn't it? So, yeah, now we always kind of end up fighting overlords of greed. So, it's what we have to do. Their biggest dream is to be different than they already are. Because the biggest dream of greed is to reset everything and greed over things again. When you have greed, that doesn't mean you need to have things that you greed over. You can keep your greed. See, that's why bad things are bad. They don't actually keep you attached to the things that you want. They don't build anything. They're just completely zero force. They keep you on a loop, and that loop, whether it has something in it or not, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you can get knocked out and someone takes that loot, basically. As I've said, like, you're circling around something and there's loot. Well, everyone wants loot, and your greed makes you circle around your stuff. That's what it is, in the end. People have a lot of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, keep it. Keep growing. We'll meet again one day. Don't worry about it. I feel you're already stressing out, but it's kind of early. I'm gonna wait 10 more years, okay, guys? 10 more years of this bullshit. How about that? How long can you survive the Hunger Games? And people haven't even met me or heard my story. They haven't figured out how low life I really am. They can only hear a rumor that a bat heard. There's probably a bat listening to me right now. And flies back into China. That's how long it takes for my message to go across. And turn into a disease, because I have to take credit for it. I have to have something for myself, you know? My insanity just can't handle that. I'm put in such a low life, I can't have a fucking job. I can't have a fucking self-esteem. Everything is taken away. And everything is separated too. So, it's actually terrible for everyone. Everyone is living their low lives, but they don't understand it until they meet me. And they will die inside. Reminding themselves, oh shit, I have been wasting my life this entire time. And that's the switch position, though. What do you do about it? Do you try to learn to be nice and welcoming and willing to fight your battles now? Or are you just going to give up altogether? And giving up is actually a slow process of withering away your wealth. And when you give up, your switch again goes off. We start bleeding now. But the bleeding process is way slower than just agreeing with someone and let's go do something. So fucking terrifying. But I guess people pushed me into learning all this stuff. They might need it. Again, motivational speech. Let's go. 2 teams are left to check over, I think. One team. And it's halfway there. And I'll have a very general view of everyone that I can care about and I can present. Alright, I don't think I need to put flags in there. It's more of a hidden thing. It's more like my personal preference as a dude. Might want to fucking take that out of the way. I'm a dude. You know, I might want to take out the trend where it says I like big butts or something. Well, let's take that trend away from the rewinds. Okay? Maybe it's just my personal preference. I don't want to spread it like that other thing. So, there you go. And it's such a small thing, but people obsess over it so much, you can tell. They have nothing. They have low lives, but they have never fucking seen how to live a low life. I live it. I don't just have it, I know exactly every single fucking dent. And I'll learn even more about it. Don't worry. Yeah, this speech gonna be fine. Especially if I'm gonna be taken away after court decision. Let's take him away for a month or 2. It's no big deal. I deserve it. I will work for a month. $200 sounds about right. You got me, oh my god. You spent only $1,000 to catch your prey. And it's like, well, I spent $1,000. You're gonna be fined for $200. Congratulations. We got you. Well, no. No, you didn't got me. You didn't got jack shit anymore. You got yourself busted. Literally, what they have to do, they have to spend those $200 of like trying to communicate with me. You know, trying to send hate mail. Trying to do whatever it takes to not overspend and create a court case where someone fell down and hurt themselves. Oh my god. Imagine just not only someone falling down, but it's a complete accident. They just die too. And we had a fight basically, and they're storming out, and they just fall down. Who's fucking guilty now? Well, no, nobody cares. Police just wants to find a guilty person. So they want to work so much. They want to spend that $1,000 because it's $1,000 well spent. It goes credit away from the government into this fucking justice system. We're now in justice system. It's all about sinking money as deep as you can possibly sink it. Every single program that the government has adopted now is a sinkhole program. Sinkhole. Like, they want money, they fuel with greed. They have nothing else going on in their lives. They're pathetic. Because they're wasteful. And my only question is like, how do we beat that? It's pretty easy to beat that. Usually. You just, it's a personal business thing now. It's a personal case. Because you can't just look at the government and be like, oh, it's bad. But you're a tiny piece of ant. If you stare at the government for long enough, you feel like an ant. And it's like, well, I can't do nothing about it anymore. So it's a very tough situation. You have to find a different thing to look at. You know what's going on in general, I'll just find it something else to look at. Anyways, that's that. That's the introduction to today. Hi, guys. Hour and a half completed. Let's call it first half completed. Alright, so after 2 days... Actually, the first time I fucking documented this is 23. I'm at 28 now. This is 5 days. After I first built this whole thing, and 3 days since I started reviewing it, to be honest. Now re-review it, but I will pick up points if I can find some. I wonder how that's gonna go, because most of them are super duper random, and I shouldn't get sunk too deep into them, because I would be talking about nothing, about some minor stuff, but I still want to like put together something that makes sense. And I still have empty space all the way up here. What could this be? Tier 4. Influence. You know? I have an idea of what this could mean, but I'll let them figure it out for themselves. And tell it to me. Which they did already. So, like, it's just gonna happen. So yeah, skipping over anyone who has 33 or higher. I'll revisit certain teams right now. Okay, my first hint. I hate scrolling down. That's the fucking first hint. Pin it. I have to pin this little shit. Okay. Too bad I can't just jump down either. I can only jump down if I reach this level of depth. Oh well. Let's reach it. I was thinking about higher quality, right? So if I just type things on the screen, like, it's pretty boring. But I don't care. I care about the entry point. And preparing yourself. I want to see the preparation process. It's actually somewhat entertaining by itself, and maybe some people are just satisfied with that and they don't want to go deeper trying to impress a bunch of people. That's hard to actually gather. So yeah. Maybe becoming popular is not an easy task. Let's just make prep videos. This is kind of my level. Potentially as YouTube CEO you have to downgrade yourself quite a bit to fit in and bring everyone else's self-esteem up if they do make it, and a lot of people are making it, and they have to know what it is. Full production, not half production. But I don't know, because my perspective is completely different, and I want to welcome people who actually just do half production. Way more, actually. To the point where I'm no longer CEO. There's someone even lower than that. Fucking recording when they sleep. Assholes. Well, we did create a pretty strong team up there. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I even fucking care. This is... Next year is gonna be Year of Taylor, right? So that's what this team is gonna represent, pretty much. Accidentally. Maybe the ending? Or the start? There's no way the start makes sense. Yeah, are you ready for it? Ah! Let's go, man. I want to randomly figure out how much I would get in 1 hour solo adventures. Let's say if I play Rumble. Rumble still seems to be pretty difficult one. But Witchwood is a little bit more interesting. Let's do that. Is this guy even even possible to defeat with all the giants? What the hell? There's no way. I'm at 6. Something crazy. Maybe I don't have enough card draw and range or whatever. Removal? Didn't respect that. But it's literally 8/8 every single card he has. Fucking weirdo. Alright, is sword checking right now? I think... Oh man, this is the toughest one actually. Ever. I think just firing cannons kinda sucks, so I'll try and avoid that. But holy shit. 2 health is amazing. I'll try and do that instead. It's worth checking out because it's 30 minutes already. It is not a lot. 50 experience. I'll double check as I was kind of losing and warming up. Oops, I just got myself down to 6 health. And I'm sure it was a misplay, by the way. Now I'm not sure if I can win this. Holy shit. So weird. Well, I guess I can win the game with 1 health. And double damage in my face. Ah, easy. It was not a misplay. It's just... it's how it's meant to be, I guess. Oh, look who showed up. The dude that I lost last time to. This time I'm definitely not prepared at all. I don't even know. Alright, the wave of giants is here. Let's see if I stand a chance. I can kill 2 of them. And my special treasure card is gonna be super useful. But other than that, I'm kinda stuck. I really don't know. This doesn't stick anywhere. It just maybe heals my dude. Too bad he doesn't remove this. He did clear the ward. And it's so painful. It is relaxing that I can just, you know, not worry about not being rewarded. It's a huge worry, honestly. You're just wasting time. If I buff this, I have to remove this. Oh man. Oh, there's another way to do it. And shield reinstated. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that it's gonna live 1 more turn? It is actually looking good. He cannot break through my walls. Anti-giant walls. Yep. I was ready for it. The second time. And that will be 7 plus... I'm 1 off, actually. Nope. That is a charge. I'm sorry, guys. Get nerfed, bitch. I didn't even need it. What the fuck? I said 7, it was 9. This fight is incredibly intense. I don't even know, man. How did I not use Brawl? He's clearing and resummoning the board every time. So fucking stupid. How many times can he do it? It's getting ridiculous. Oh, come on! The most annoying cards in the game! Is this how you build a fucking NPC? Yeah, it goes back to the hand. What? What happened? Oh my god, I lost Scythe. That was useful. Yeah, this is such a fucking pain. was hoping for something less extreme, jeez. I don't think this even clears. It does clear somewhat. Weird. So the only way to win against him is to actually make him overdraw. And I have been playing into his trap of not doing that. But what the fuck do I know the first time around? It's literally the only way, by the way. I guess I could have made him draw again. I just don't know if I want to do this win condition anymore. But he's gonna draw a lot. So fucking messed up. It's just 3 cards though. It's not gonna work anymore. Let's just go. Oh man. Still misplaying. Oh, come on. That's like the worst. Well, who knows? Maybe he resummons a bunch of creatures or whatever. This is pretty intense. Especially now that I ran out of minions. Only thing I have is rejuvenating weapons, and I have 2 bombs in there. Oh, I guess he doesn't have many cards left. Holy shit, he's card drawing. Let's go then. That's the only thing we have left. Well, that sucks. Here it comes. Oh man, what a puzzle. But I do hate this more than I like it. One card left. Huh. But he heals for full pretty much. Oh man. And I lose this, okay. So that was closer than I would have thought. Even after changing the strategy, if I just played it correctly. Maybe it would have made more sense. There's not much I can do anymore. There's no way to drag this there for me to shoot. This guy doesn't have any more taunt. I would only go face. Ah, yes. Interesting. Ah, I can still play warrior now. That was so weird. 47 more experience. So you do get around 100 experience every hour there. I'm not even sure if this is like exactly what they intended. Like in exactly an hour. I can probably play for another hour. Let's see what happens. Because now I'm intrigued. Alright, I have to handle the big boys again. The big boys are bigger now because I made them 1 mana worse. But they're probably still discountable to ridiculous. 0 mana cost somewhere, somehow. Or was just hero power. This looks like a win condition. That's why I added Berserker. So get wrecked, no matter how many minions you play. I think I will be able to stall for a while. I'm not sure if he really plays for the mana. Bump on 3. But it's now delayed to 4. We'll see. And he does have Borglares. Full Borglares, so it's like... Fuck yeah, then. So does he have it? Nope. That's not good enough at all. I'll simply not attack this. I'm really curious how much damage that is. It's not worth attacking, but it is a loss for me to lose 12 points. What else do we have? Yeah, we have to avoid taunt, but we couldn't. Now my win condition sucks ass. There's something else I can do now? Yeah, I think it works. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. I can push these guys in for 3 damage. And is that all I want to do? Or do I want to... I probably want to shut him down. Okay. Am I anywhere closer now? That's the question. Is that a win? 6 and 7. Holy shit, it's a win, boys. Okay. So maybe they don't actually change any bosses. I was expecting something different then, but it's the same boss every time. It's probably kind of a storyline then. Yeah, these guys are doing a lot of work actually. He might clear this? Why is he not clearing this? Am I a wiener? Wiener? Ooh. If only I had a taunt. Ah. Ah. Let's smash in 30 minutes again. But this time, completed. We completed this thing. Okay. is all... Get the fuck out of my face, dude. Jesus Christ, Agatha. What is wrong with her? Literally, I think we got a... 50. 30 minutes is 50 in here, in that game mode. And there's no changing that. Pretty sucky, actually. I don't like that. It really means you gain 3 gold. Like back in old days. But now, this time you have to play 1 hour. That's... I do feel it, I do feel the fucking disgust on the casual, non-casual players, actually. Non-casual, those who actually want to get into Hearthstone super deep. But I do gain gold for playing garbage. So I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. Playing whatever I want now. It should be more rewarding. For me, personally. But I don't want to play Hearthstone forever. In fact, I can still make a better game. They haven't completely shut down by making Hearthstone a 7-year-old game. They haven't completely shut down the competition. That is me. I'm the competition for myself, for my own influence. I can shut it down. It's not easy, if you think about it. Like, wow, games are supposed to be out-competing our interest. That's fucking crazy, and they do a pretty good job at it so far. At least I've spent hours and hours. Maybe it was a bad investment. I'll start questioning myself. But let's take it nice and slow. Nice and slow. I think I'm going the right way in life, so I don't have to rush anything. I just don't like the rewards at the moment. Fucking 3 gold per hour. Ugh. No one wants to sit through that. So it's just, you have to remain casual in Hearthstone. You just have to. A casual player, you just have to understand that's what they want, apparently. And it's a good deal, actually. I feel disgusted by the people who sink in hours and hours to grind gold and shit. That's disgusting to me. And we already got a minor change in the system that makes sense. Instead of getting shitty packs, we actually get gold in those high-end levels, which everyone should reach if they're casual players. Everyone should reach that and gain a pretty sizable amount of gold. It's just kind of lackluster, though, just gaining gold. I do feel the developers, like, they just fucked it up, man. They should just give more feedback on this one. On how to gain experience more ways and all that shit. They should have expanded that to an extreme degree. But whatever. What else do you expect? Just mediocre garbage anyways. But I look at it as positive. I'm a casual player after all, so I'm okay with this. I don't want... See, that's what makes Hearthstone less competitive. And it just leaked out a very good idea of what else you can implement in your system to beat Hearthstone easily. People are not necessarily mad at this feature. They're simply wishing it was just slightly more rewarding. I play for 6 hours. I don't feel rewarded for that. That sort of stuff. Yeah, sure. I want to go back to the days where I get 10 gold for 3 wins. Yeah, I don't think so. The most painful part, and the one that completely destroys Blizzard, we have YouTube, guys. Just do a podcast. Just sit down and talk about it, assholes. What's your thought process on this thing? You kind of have to give us feedback now that everyone is outraged. Whether people gonna like it or not, you're gonna talk about it and get off your chest. Obviously, people are right now on hot seats, and it's like, well, there are millions and millions actually watching, so we don't want to talk nothing. We don't want to say nothing. It's the most disgusting thing that could happen if we say anything. You know, we would have to fight our bosses that pay us money. Yeah, in the end, it's just such a weird thing where everyone loses. Only the casual players win. Those who don't take Hearthstone that seriously. And it's a good lesson to have, actually. Jesus Christ. You thought you're gonna win by becoming a Hearthstone streamer. You're gonna win life out of this. Well, good luck. Fucking weirdos. It's still such a dark hole of just sucking into you. In your interest. I come back, I'm like, okay. I wasn't too impressed by the latest expansion, to be honest. It was okay. But I like duels. I just like duels. It's really difficult to actually play Hearthstone for a long time and enjoy it. Because the problems pile up. And you always waiting for that next game mode. Always. By all means. Next game mode is everything to you. And duels just kind of nailed it. But also kind of put me in a very rough spot as well. So I'm not sure how to feel about anything anymore. I'm sure I would fix this if I would explore it for a personal year, just like, oh, let's beat up Hearthstone. I could probably do it. And someone would probably be able to fund it. You know, now I should be actually mad that I picked up something like that, didn't I? I picked up something very valuable for myself. Oh no, I would do such a good job if only people funded that. You know, I don't know what to do in life, but people not being able to fund operations, that's the most crippling move, honestly. We just can't. We need to see things already done and taken care of, so we're like super safe. Oh, I can invest into that. Well, it's already done! But it's already done! It doesn't require your investment anymore. Who would have thought? Right? That's the biggest twist in the fucking world right now. Like, how? How are you gonna invest into something that's already done? Meaning that in life, in order to be successful, you have to risk everything, burn yourself out, and then provide people a product if they don't like it and toss it into a wall. Well, your life is ruined now. Congratulations. You go sit on a bench. That is the most beautiful fucking consumer bullshit I've ever fucking encountered. Man. Do I hate consumers now? But people love this, right? There's a system that just fucking adores everything that has established. It's almost like the only thing that can exist is evil. Is that the only thing that has the will to exist anymore? Like, how the fuck does that happen? Man. I understand that evil is more likely to exist. Because in order to be good, you have to actually stack yourself with experience and all the rare gems of the world. You gotta stack yourself quite a bit with actually good information and good relationships, good experience, all that shit. So, it's true, like, most of the systems that are in place are total garbage then. We only buy things that are already done. We don't buy relationships. Because that shit, I don't know what I'm getting out of that, actually. And it is true, you want to kind of build up from the ground up, from small things. You want to appreciate small things. If you're a true consumer, you want to appreciate small but growing, potentially very big things in the future. And that's where you put your investment into. But that's just called parenting! Oh my god! And people are so terrible at it. Oh no, that's called parenting. And people are so bad at it. Yeah, I have to kind of rephrase it. It's ugly. Because I'm not necessarily pointing exactly at this. I'm pointing at, like, the opposite. I'm pointing at people caring about small projects. And it's like, oh, it's a baby project. It's the best creation project. Well, people are so bad at it, actually. Because they have never invested into anything else that grows besides pets. Pets don't actually grow, guys. Fucking big reveal. You know, pets don't grow. They kind of die faster than they grow. Okay? Or they're more likely to die than grow into something. What can grow is you, first of all. You as a person. Pretty good fucking deal, I would say. And most importantly, stable relationships, if you can harvest that. If there's no way to harvest that, which is right now the case, very much so, no relationships can actually happen. Maybe government is the only place where people actually make stable relationships, because, like, well, this guy is gonna serve us for 4 years and shit, so we gotta serve him too. And recognize his face or whatnot. Maybe in workplaces it's somewhat stable. So all these fucking shitty places basically get the benefit of making stable relationships, where you come back home and none of that's the case. The best stable relationship you have is fucking get a pet. Well, congratulations, you just ruined everything. And people are like this. I can't believe it. I wouldn't give a fuck about COVID if I had a book of evil, basically. Oh, that's a pretty thick book of stupid people's behavior. That's all I need, man. The book of evil. You hold it in your hands. So, it's entertaining at least. I sit here, I'm like, well, let's entertain those fucking fools. They will probably want to kill me anyways at some point. So it's gonna be very entertaining. If they just sit there and think about it instead of actually wasting their time on evil things. Why should I care what you think about me? Nobody cared at all, and of course the first thing you're gonna do is like, oh, this guy thinks I'm evil, so I'm gonna do evil things. Well, congratulations, man. I wasn't incorrect. See, I like being correct. Anyways, 1 hour left. I did felt like I need a little bit of sleep, but I also need to get RuneScape under control. Man, Keemstar just found some fucking comedy gem. There's a girl with fucking 100 million followers, and she created a tiny bit of drama treating her followers as numbers, as obviously you would fucking do because you fucking underage piece of shit that you are. I don't even watch her stuff. Like, she's the biggest TikToker. What? Who are these fucking sisters, honestly? But it's like the funniest thing. I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Oh my god. How fucking stupid can you get? What? Tier 4, guys. I need to look into my plans for what I'm gonna do with the engine really quickly. I do think it's healthy to put stuff into bubbles. It's not exactly that stupid anymore. The bubbles stay same size based on the longest point away. And usually that means we have to split sticks into a couple of blocks, so it's two circles defining a stick. That's simple enough. Not just one big bubble that triggers a bunch of grid points. We don't want that. But it still makes sense to make this happen. Because then it's just a very simple variable, because I'm checking every single corner, every single point rather on the object. And that's just so stupid. Because there's sometimes going to be many points. And why should I do that? Why should I check? And even checking all the points does not even solve the problem, even though I'm doing so much already. But building up a bubble is super easy. You just check with this box if it hits the bubble. In other words, if this enters a field, a circle enters square. It's not exactly the easiest thing to know how to do, but it's definitely out there. And I definitely should be able to figure out myself if a bubble enters. I think the best way to figure out is like, what's the closest point? Is the closest point inside? And that's it. Sounds about right. Yeah, because the closest point is always gonna be the one most likely to be inside. There's no other way, right? I can't think of any other way. There could be some very clutch situations where it might not make sense. I can't think of those situations. So I'll just use the closest point thingy. Okay. Again, instead of moving the entire objects around and shuffling those and sorting those, I'll just sort IDs, not objects. That's a simple change. Sort ID. And the way to do it also, I can already use the entire box of blocks that I used to have in order to just sort the ID based on... There are 32 by 32 camera points, and I still would use the same thing, where I just put them in. And if I put them in the same place, I search where next to put it. It would be even interesting, like, these indexes could show how filled up this thing is, so reading is a little bit easier. But it would be just a lot more easier to just use different IDs for every single slot. So as I'm reading through IDs, and everyone is different. So basically, I would rather just figure out which ID is most likely to be, then put it in. If it's not, we slide forward or backwards. I would rather slide forward, obviously. It's a kind of a weird situation in that case. If you hit something already. That's what I'm trying to avoid by having as big of an array as possible, so nothing gets hit. Because when you saw my YouTube thingy, sometimes the smaller guy gets up front of a bigger guy, and that's not a very good shuffle in that sense. Normally, when you just predicting numbers, you will still only bump into the same number, and you will find some space, some empty space. It's not guaranteed, actually. It's a weird system, but because it works 99% of the time, I don't care. I really don't care about those anomalies. So we're gonna be sorting ID. ID is a lot smaller, and we're gonna be putting objects into bubbles so they're very easy to read and put on the screen. That's it. And I'm gonna be using the entire map that I have been using this whole time. Now 32. I'm gonna have 8 by 8, so it's almost like a chunk. 8 by 8 and 2, 5, 6. That's the array, the size of the array. It's 16 times bigger, so it's significantly more bigger, and I was actually using or having maybe 1 million objects on the screen. So I already filled up everything, every single slot, all the time. Well, the screen, yeah, this is the screen, though. So I don't even care how many objects I have. All I care is what is gonna go on the screen. That's it. But that's not it, actually. There's one problem that we have found previously. I talked about it. The conflict. How do I remove the conflict? Because I'm trying to put the objects on the screen. Potentially any object can be on the screen, and I'm not ray tracing anymore. So I actually have to read every single object, and it makes a lot more sense to do that instead of ray tracing. Because ray tracing still shoots a bunch of rays that read a bunch of empty space. You don't want to read empty space. You would rather read objects. And if you can sort those objects, you don't even need to ray trace that much. You can ray trace through objects themselves. And that's a lot simpler. And so what would happen anyways? It would happen like that anyways. So it seems like it's a good idea. And maybe, just maybe, we don't have to worry about objects that much. Maybe we can just scoop a frame, or scoop I don't know. I would still love to have a camera that's also a bubble that captures every object available, but even that's a little bit stretchy. Objects could also be captured simply by you being in that range, and well, you have all the objects. It's like 1 million objects, not a big deal at all. If you read them properly, you can quickly put them into place where they belong, potentially, and that's it. The only part is that we're multi-threading this process, and it could create conflicts, but now that we have IDs, the conflicts are going to be so rare. Is it even worth bothering? Because, like, I had tons and tons of objects on the screen. They create tons of conflicts at the moment, but right now, I will have 16 times more space. How can I possibly get into a conflict anymore? Is this even possible? The only possibility is where object overrides, right? So the same ID gets called twice at the same time. At the same fucking time. Is this even possible? Holy shit. I'm questioning myself now, like, why would this be possible? In very, very rare situations. So with 99% of the time, again, it's gonna work, and maybe something is gonna flicker, but I don't give a fuck about that flicker. It's almost like I don't care. So let's implement this system specifically. Sorting IDs. So again, there's a list of objects, and the list of objects doesn't change anymore. As well, that's another thing that changes. The only thing that changes is where the IDs go. And the IDs, well, are reference to an object. Where does the IDs go? And the IDs can actually split apart and appear in multiple blocks at the same time because, well, let's say the object is here, so the camera has to capture it in 4 different blocks. Or if you had like 4 tablets, those 4 tablets would actually capture the object. If you want to imagine it that way. What else do we have? So it's the object list being throwing IDs. And those are bubbles. And that's pretty much it. I think that settles everything. Which is like, wow. We did it, guys. I didn't expect we were gonna fucking do it. But we did it. Let's just see if it works. As well it works in my head. But usually, those things are in sync. I feel accomplished as a human being. Huh. Oh yeah, and very possible downfall is that I won't be able to actually use max resolution. I'm getting a lot of benefits already. And max resolution is not one of them, actually. It's probably just because it's not optimized or whatever. But, you know, you have to give it to the professionals to handle the rest. So, all I want to do is just make games. I don't care about resolution. I don't care about graphics. I just hope that I don't see pixels when I just want to see a fucking sprite. And Unity fucking handles it properly. So if it cannot give me a sprite, I will put my sprites, okay? And they're gonna be 3D sprites. Holy shit, I'm impressed. I'm impressed how Unity fucked one thing up that really they shouldn't. But it's not just Unity, apparently. Or so it looks like. It's just so weird, right? You have to pick a specific resolution for your sprite. Specific resolution, specific distance. What's the point? I'm not gonna do tedious work. Tedious work is something that a smart person just can't do. If I know I have to do tedious work, that's game over for me. Yeah, I'm also in the fucking corner about this one. Yeah, so the thing that bothers me the most is smart people don't have mental illness. And if people can't figure that out, somehow they can't figure this one out, they're retarded, basically. They're extra retarded. Because not only they're retarded when they have to say, like, oh, go to those smart people over there, and they're gonna tell you what to do in life. Because that's what medical fucking experience is supposed to give you. Best advice ever, what to do, where to go, who to talk to, and all that shit. And, that's the fucking point. You know, you have to be smart enough to at least point the right fucking way, whereas, like, the smarter person is. And, if you point a finger where the smarter person is from the smart person, so, let's say you pretend that I have mental illness, you have mental illness now. You literally pointed at yourself. I have mental illness. It's such a ridiculous thing, but that's what, that's why they should hold medical jobs. Or they should be medics. By default. If that's where everyone points at in the first place. Go talk to this smart person. Because that's the only solution in life. I just don't fucking understand, guys. How do people find a completely different solution of, like, oh, you look broken, go heal. You know, like, fucking retardation level drop down a little bit. Or they just sinked into the retardation. Because it's comfortable there, you know, it's comfortably being retarded. Who cares, right? So yeah, like, that's a virus right there, as well. There's plenty of that shit. There's the Book of Evil, man, I can't write it myself right now. Just at the top of my head of how much evil people are. Maybe that's exactly what Rewind is supposed to be about. Hey guys, you're pretty evil. Yeah, you can look at it this way. If someone should be something, then they technically are. Just like I should be YouTube CEO, so I technically am. Because I'm free, okay, and I'm super smart. I'm super duper smart now. Like, what the fuck? I'm just sitting here, and I'm still sucking in more and more information. Just because I'm lonely, and nobody gives a fuck. But the moment people will start giving a fuck, obviously, and again, very fucking obviously, when it's too late, then their butt's on fire, and, filled with desire. Let's burn that fat, bitches. So the fattest kids still gonna fucking make it if they run fast enough. But everyone else, I think you should stop burning. Burning that ass. Anyways. Yeah, I'm just chilling. My life didn't change. Apparently government just showed its ugly face and showed how stupid it is, basically, with coronavirus, because it shrunk down. It bottlenecked, basically, what is normal, right? So normal used to be pretty fucking outrageous, okay? So the government is like, well, we would bottleneck here, but because we want to shrink down what's normal, we're gonna fucking do this. So now only this is normal anymore. Okay? Even less than I would fucking say it's normal. But they're trying to fucking bottleneck everything, so to almost like a reset. This is the reset. Coronavirus is the reset of everything. Like, this is fucking brutal. But, in a way, I'm like, I guess that's true. I mean, every 15 years we have to make a reset, right? Because people forget what's normal and we cannot move forward in life. So, for me, that's still fucking normal. Whatever is going on, sometimes you can figure out how normal it is. But it takes time. And it takes time to fucking heal myself mentally, which I always do. I can't possibly have mental illness. I'm less likely to have mental illness than anyone else. By any means necessary, okay? It's just never gonna happen. For me. While everyone else have huge chances of getting a mental illness simply because they pick up wrong advice, do something bad, they forget something, they don't care of their own mind as much as I do every single fucking day because I'm a thinker and I bump into the things, into the trash in my head and I pick it up and I throw it away so I have a clean way through. But it's only in my mind, right? So that's the difference. But to be fucking treated poorly, I don't like that. I really don't like that. I hope I'll survive through this, because it's even below normal of what it's supposed to be to me. And it was always like that. That's why government is capable of resetting themselves to an extreme abnormal. Also, for all we know, coronavirus could just be also crown virus. Oh no. But I really want to run a business right now. Type of shit. Like, this could be so fucking twisted, you have no idea. Oh, the government, oh, let's test if they still want a crown for something. If they feel entitled to something, maybe we're in a lot of pain right now. Until Chinese figure out what to do exactly. The rest of the world just waits. Who the fuck knows how everything is being operated right now? But we know world is being operated somehow. It's a big old factory like everything else. Oh yeah, and when it comes to whoever is smarter, the other person has to come to me. Okay? If I need help, they have to come to me, not the other way around, actually. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Fuck yeah, dude. Why should I fucking walk if I'm smarter? But we literally have to go back to the abnormal games of just figuring out who's smarter and who gets to fucking run around. You know, like, let's split those people apart and create actual hubs of where I can fucking build a business again. Because I also get a chance to do that. I get to create anything I want, and you get to run away with it. If it falls down on my floor, it's like, well, you can scoop that up. And if I like you, I'll gonna give it to you. It's like, well, hey dude, you wanna pick that up? Okay, I'll just try and put that back together again, I guess. Fucking broke my cup. Should've picked that up now. And sold it for 1,000. Sold it for a thick Justin Bieber 1,000 right there. Justin Bieber cup. It was a Yeah, if you really think about why would people buy celebrity shit, they want to tell a story to themselves. It's literally has nothing to do with reality. It has to do with you telling yourself a story. Just like, oh, I'm gonna buy drugs now and I'm gonna feel good. Half of the story of where you get high happens before you get high. So the same goes with celebrity shit. You have to be vulnerable to that. So you have to open yourself up too in order to appreciate it. I just go halfway and I'm like, well, I don't need to buy anything. I already got halfway. It's already 50% of the production efficiency and all that. Like, what's the problem? I'm almost as close to Justin Bieber as any ordinary person, but a little bit more of a fan than an ordinary person, actually. So I'm like, yeah, that's I'll take that. And I'm close to a lot of people like that. And it's called friend zone, basically. You did 50% of the work. I guess we're friends now. I don't know. We're not strangers anymore. And it's kind of awkward to treat you as garbage because I know you. You know, that situation happens where it's pretty satisfying, actually. You meet a person and you kind of want to hold it in your friends list. I hope you do. But you have to fucking organize that friend list personally. There's a lot of work to be done. 2021 not only has to be motivationally enhanced, but actually practically showcasing what I'm gonna do and what has to be done that I already done. So, and I'm gonna give everyone a chance to like tap into my engine and all that shit. The thing that I'm doing with YouTube personalities, this is kind of a friends list. It's an influence map that you can apply to your friends too. And you kind of want to do that, to know who's the most influential. Even if you don't actually say directly to them, you stare at them for long enough that they're actually influential in the end. And you want to know that so you don't get panic attack of like, oh, I need to grab onto a fucking celebrity and follow them. Because you might end up in a wrong fucking house. It's not your house. In your house, boy. You're not welcome to this community. And you're gonna be miserable in life. So I have to prepare some tools for people to take away. A package, basically. But it's probably not gonna be a Christmas gift. It's probably gonna come in early, or just mid-winter, rather. So 2 more weeks. Give me 2 more weeks. I don't even know what's gonna happen after the fucking court. How are they gonna fucking treat me? I'm already pissed off as it is. One interesting tier list, I think, is the earning per month. But let's call it an hour. Assuming that you work 50 hours. But that's a little bit too much. Let's assume 30 hours a week. Because you still want to take breaks. So that's general. There's 4 tiers again. And you can tell the government really likes to remove a few tiers to pretend that people can actually afford doing that. But no, there's supposed to be a ladder. And the government that's removing tiers is trying to basically destroy itself, basically. It's already dead, basically. If you remove tier 1, the government is dead. The country's dead. If minimum wage is removed, then the country's doomed. America is just fucking Candyland at this point. Take it and leave it. Leave America and take the candy. Don't mix it up. So, $2 an hour. Still, an okay minimum wage. Who would have thought? As long as the job doesn't suck ass, you would be okay having that. And guess what? It gets so much worse, so much faster. Because it does not grow exponentially. It grows based on principle. Based on principle, you have to worry. You have to be sad. You have to deal with all these emotions. You have to deal with hatred. You have to be in quite a low self-esteem position until you figure yourself out. The moment you're happy, it's the moment you bring yourself over very easily. So $5. And it's almost like, you know, there's also an expected age, but I would still say 1825 and +7 +7, guys. That's expected age, guys. Meaning 32 and 40. Once you're 40, maybe you're gonna earn $25 an hour. Otherwise, you're just killing people. You don't know how you're killing people, but I am giving you a very simple clue. People are okay working for this. Do you understand? Okay. I'm okay if I earn $200 in a month, pretty much. That's okay. In America, however, they're even trying to remove the third tier. So basically, they're gonna play the end game. It's the magic, guys. And I probably have to put every single tier list together as well to show YouTube Rewind's full potential, which will include this one as well. So Americans are actually killing this far. When I said, okay, guys, I'm okay doing this. The only thing they hold on to is the family. So as long as there's one dude in the family that earns this, it's fine. But shut the fuck up, okay? Everyone has responsibilities and everyone has to grow. If there's no growth, there is no family. There's no point. There's no connection with other people who are less fortunate. You have to be fortunate now. You have to have ridden a trend of America and still know what it is. Reinvent yourself every single time, regardless. But I can't say for sure, 100%. Maybe they prepared it exactly the way that it looks to make it look edgy, basically. Just trying to be edgy. I don't know that. But I've spent enough time in the culture to... Yeah, they are edgy. I would say they are fucking edgy. They're assholes. On demand. Just want to shock you. Like, wow, so edgy. Oh my god, how do you guys do it? So many magic tricks. How the fuck did you guys did this? Eliminated everything all the way up here to minimum wage. And yeah, this is why I don't come back to UK. I just don't feel like it yet. I feel like a little fucking tiny toddler coming to UK. But here, it's already a wasteland. So, because countries actually exist out there, which I don't feel like I'm living in a country when I'm not working. Yeah, RuneScape is a fucking bigger country than what I'm doing right now, which is nothing. You know, I'm not even looking for a job because I gave up. That's it. Suck on that. Why should I look? I already looked. You know? Why should I look under the table every time? Oh, just look under the table. We'll pay you. That's a nice job. It's not gonna be a waste of my time at all. I'm already 25, so I have to, like, get this immediately. Immediately! I'm happy, guys. Don't worry about it. Now I have to pretend that I'm happy. You know, stick a happy face on my fucking face. And it's still gonna work. Still good, guys. It's okay. Even though I'm not earning $5 an hour. Not even close. But I know I can punch a person who has tons of money and be like, hey, I remade Minecraft. Do you like me now? Oh, okay. I can be a part of your family. Huh? You care about me so much. There's different responsibilities that you have in each section, right? So here, what can you do with $5 an hour? Be normal, actually. And explore. Normal XP. Now is... The only thing that can terrify you is like other people are doing fancy things and not normal things. And like, oh man, I want to do fancy things too. Well, fancy things are up here. Fancy. And you can build a family now. Haha. You couldn't have built a family beforehand. I am very sorry about that. You're normal, you're accumulating wealth, you're also losing a bunch of wealth for random reasons. Because random shit happens all the time. And you have to be prepared. And you are tested all the time. A war just happens. Happens to happen. Oh my god. Someone... You get a medical bill. You get taxes. Yeah, you still have to figure out which taxes to actually pay. And which ones to just run away from. And start a new life. Starting a new life also requires money. Everything requires money. Making friends requires money. Don't think otherwise. I am making friends because I'm smart. And that's a weird way to make money, basically. I'm making money in the future, not right now. That's what smart means. So technically I kind of have money, but my friends are like, when are you gonna have money? Because, like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. It's so fucking stupid, but I understand them. Because that's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, guys. So, now that I'm 25, I broke through, right? I'm probably gonna start earning $5 an hour here, and it's gonna look like $10 an hour. You know what I mean? That's what it means to be smart. That means you're gonna be fucking hungry for half of your fucking wage. And then break through somewhere. And be like, hey guys, you can pay me too. Like a fancy guy, you know? I'm gonna pretend to be fancy. For a while. And everyone's like, well, I have to steal money from you because you're fancy. And I'll have to tell them the story. Well, sit down, boy. I'll tell you the story how I was hungry this whole fucking time. You know, that's pretty cool, right? So, fancy and family and the tree of friends that you're gonna be building. Wow. Fucking tree. Freedom, guys. Amazing. Some people already achieved it before the age 25. Some people achieved it before age 30. Some people are fucking morons. Okay. Yeah, you get the legacy benefits, so you like enter even before you should hit $5 an hour. You hit that beforehand. If you live in a rich family, if you live in a magical family, because that's magic. All of this is fucking magic, basically. What do you do in $25. I think there's a specific amount. I give it $25 an hour because this looks like almost 3 times more. Okay, just like everything else, you know, it is still exponential. It is exponential, and it would look, for a rich person, it would look fucking weird, right? But that's what a rich person would be at. And so there's not only Americans have a magical trick happening, but there's also a question mark. Wait, but isn't there like an ultimate gap here that pisses people off too? And there's lava flowing in and closing in on everyone and killing everyone in the end. It's like, well, minimum wage $15. It's okay, people can do it. Where? I don't see $15 in my mind's eye. If I said $12, I would understand $15. I said $10. I don't like doubling after I almost tripled. I mean, I don't want to triple twice. I don't want to make it too exponential. But here I had to. I even had to do this exponential. And it's not like, oh, it's actually, you know, you needed a few zeros in here, you know. That's how much per hour you earn. It's very easy. So what would rich people do to earn this much? Well, they earn it through pure influence, I would say. They pure influence, but it's pure establishment, basically. Not only it's a tree, but it's almost like a fucking ray of the sun. The sun keeper. You're literally the sun keeper, the keeper of knowledge. And magic, too. The fucking enlightened ones. Who would have thought, right? Unless you wash money down the drain. And you're not 40 years old. You can't be a keeper. So president is probably a person who keeps light in the most public eye. Okay, that's it. For the poorest of the poor. And apparently Americans are so poor, they obsess about presidential elections so much. I pity you guys. I very much pity what the fuck's going on there. But again, it could be all a fucking trick, and I can't fucking understand it well enough. So I wish I see more perspectives than my own. What rich people can do? Well, whatever they want. Okay? That's the dream. You live the dream. And if you think you need more than $25 to live the dream, let me get that. Let me get that real quick. I'll bring you down to $25 and you're gonna be none the wiser. You'll feel nothing else different in your life. Absolutely. There is no way up. There's no tier 5. Never. Never ever can there be a tier 5. There's always a fucking limit to everything. And we reach this limit very quickly. And you have to work. You have to work. There is no escape out of work. You can't just grab a bag out of a bank, no matter in which section you are. There's no bank, and there's no bank robbery, and you can't run away. The smartest people can barely imitate a bank robbery. Imitate. It's not even close. The only thing they're imitating is that they're a little bit higher because they sacrifice themselves to be smart. Smartness is something everyone hates until it breaks through. And it's like, oh yeah, you are smart. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. You're just fucking sorry in the end. And I'm fucking pissed. Being sorry is not gonna be good enough. But I'll take it. Thank you very much. I'm not sure how bad my situation is and how long I will have to struggle to get something good out of life. Maybe I won't have to struggle at all. Maybe I'm extremely genius type of smart and I have been struggling this whole time and I'm a fucking demon baby right now. But I did earn something, but I did lost everything. You know, by entering here, swooped and lost everything. I had just enough for like a few years of existence. Now I don't have nothing. So, I'm kind of pissed. And it's all thanks to my parents. My parents gave me the suffering, and my parents never gave me the reward in the end. They couldn't protect me. And I'm fucking very pissed. So, don't be surprised if I find a shortcut. And, stop giving a fuck. Okay? Because I was not okay when I broke through this. And I did have to put a paper on my face. Like, you have to do it now, too. Coronavirus. For you. You know? Have fun. Of course people are unfortunate, but we have to find those people and listen to their stories. We have to. Unless we want to be ignorant and stupid. We have to let people tell their stories. They tell it in various ways, and if they're very hurt in life, they're going to tell it hurtfully to you back. Do you want that, or do you want to just hear the story? And just feel it the way you want it. You know, like, just figure it out. So yeah, that's a big of a struggle, and we have to close this down. My engine is not working yet. Not sure exactly what's going on. I'm gonna give it another try to figure out. Probably just gonna delay it again, but who knows. I'm sitting here for hours and I just can't find it. What's wrong with it? I even tried 2 methods of sorting everything, and it does exactly the same thing. You can put everything into the box and then read the box like this. You know, the layers. Or you can just do it linearly. And wherever you end up. Pretty much layer meaning this thing on the screen. The second layer means this thing. Something like that. Layering is a little bit easier but less convenient in a way, but it's like, who cares? And it does exactly the same thing. Where if I run it right now, I'm so puzzled right now. I'm just, why? So I put everything into points, and this way how it's supposed to be, right? On the left we have blue things, and on the right we have orange things. Which is kind of fucking stupid too. But anyways, we have that. This is how it's supposed to be. Because the points are distributed specifically on specific parts of the screen. That's what I'm sorting. That's the fucking reason of sorting. But when I do this, the points are distributed randomly all of a sudden. I can't even tell a single pattern when I look at this. So there's only one way to look where it actually looks normal. And the point seems to be distributed properly. And if I go into a normal mode of rendering blocks with ray tracing, what I see is a bunch of circles, which is fucking stupid as well. But of course I see circles. I'm not rendering everything anymore. I'm rendering some garbage that doesn't belong to the screen. Everything is mixed up. So, I don't even know how this can be entangled like that. Like, even this fucking impossible as it is. So I definitely don't know the fucking answer to this. I'll keep it still in check. I'm not releasing this video until I'm like fixing this. Like, this is so close. But holy shit, is this so annoying. The only fully untested thing is color to int and int to color, which I still tested quite a bit. I have literally no clue what can be possibly causing this, because you saw I did so much more progress with just a smaller array. Now this one is 16 times bigger. How can I fucking possibly fail now? I can't. I just can't. Whew. This bad boy. Oh my god. This has been killing me this whole time. Oh my god. This must work now, right? Jesus Christ. I get fucking trapped on some stupid shit like this. Where, 4 arrays, or 4 loops intersect with each other. And I'm like, what is going on? What am I gonna do for 20 million hours? Sitting here trying to figure it out. That's what happens every time. You put one wrong fucking symbol, it's game over, man. So many double checks you have to make. I want to escape this nightmare, because I know this is the worst. Let's see if this works, man. Yeah, of course it works now. Jesus Christ. It really broke my mind right now. And if I do simple adjustments, this can run every frame. It's not a big deal. And, what is it? Yeah. I did this. So it's guaranteed to put everything on the screen if it's supposed to go on the screen. Guaranteed. It's laggy as fuck. It's not optimized. But it does what it does. Fuck my life. I messed up something for sure. 1 second then. Okay, this is probably happening because I don't read enough blocks. It's really tough to actually know, but still. This is now a completely different challenge, I would say. Is figuring out how to optimize and put all the blocks inside the respective squares. Okay, does this look better? It shouldn't, by the way. I just kind of like how fucking weird it looks. It still generates some blocks. Kind of fine. One thing I can do is ensure that it actually goes through a lot of blocks and doesn't just break. Alright, so very close up, it actually works. the further you go, the more blocks there are to actually hit through and test. But generally, another kind of fix we can apply is apply even bigger positioning. So we have this positioning, we can apply like 800. So it's double as much. Maybe we have to remove power positioning. Doesn't look like a big of a difference actually here. It almost even looks like these fucking blocks get smaller based on distance. Which fucking stupid, isn't it? How the fuck does that make sense? Maybe it does make sense though. Maybe it does. Doesn't it? Does it make fucking smaller somehow? It shouldn't do that actually. Yeah, I don't think it does that. It's just supposed to hit a thing in 3D space. Which is still fucking weird though. There's no size, there's nothing like that. So I'm still kind of gonna have to work around here. I'm already extending like quite a bit. If I add another 0, it might start disappearing very fast. But there is enough space for a lot. It is looking better actually. Not that much better though. Wow. What a puzzle. I can get super close and it still fucking sucks. Well, that's not cool. So I'll have to figure this out, but this is where things start to actually progress way further. I don't understand though. Yeah, the mountains are not as large anymore. I can't quite afford it at the moment. Because there are a lot of objects, and you can see a lot of them disappeared actually. So 0 doesn't help at all. There's something else going on. I don't understand quite yet. I do add a... no. You could say I add a lot of objects in the same array. And you could say like, yeah, 16,000, still not good enough. It is still not good enough. Well, let's put it in like this. Let's do old school. And give it a little bit extra space. I don't quite like old school method, but we can test that too. Doesn't seem much better than that. Still kind of fascinating though. Knowing that these blocks are so easy to render. You just have to find out how to organize them on the screen. And again, the one block has to appear in... oh wow. They also disappear if they're in the bottom of the screen. Yeah, they kind of have to disappear. Kind of. In some ways they have to disappear. So that makes all the sense. So once I figure out what's exactly going on here... Because back in the day, we were just ray tracing. And there's no problem. The closest blocks are the ones who get rendered. It's pretty obvious. But actually it's not obvious. I think the corner pieces are the closest blocks. but the surface should be the closest blocks. So it doesn't actually read the entire surface anymore, because it just reads a few blocks. Let's see, 15. So what if I read 150? There's no way we can dodge that, can we? And that's gonna be the end of the video. It's gonna be super laggy now. We're still dodging. We're dodging like crazy. And that's just unbelievable, honestly. That part is unbelievable. That it's still the same, regardless. So there's something else going on that I can't quite understand yet. Alright, see you guys next time.